morning everyone. Myself Ranganayaki, Associate Professor in the Department of CSE. I am working in the College of St. Joseph Institute of Technology, Chennai. Today we are going to learn a new concept, structures in C. In the process of learning C program, we learned about many things. First is structure of a program, arrays, strings, and the concept of structure, union, and everything, file handling functions we learn. In that particularly we see today about structures in detail. First thing, generally in C program, if we not only C program, in a program if we want to store a value inside a computer memory, we need a variable. Suppose I'll take a value 5. I want to store this value 5 inside the computer memory. How we can store? Simply through a variable. Okay, before that we need to know about the syntax of a variable declaration. See, in C language, to declare a variable we have a syntax. First, data type, write data type, variable name, This is the syntax for declaring a variable in C language. Okay, so this is a integer value. 5 is an integer value, so I choose the data type as int. Variable name I give as a. In this step I declare the variable. Next I initialize the value 5. Okay, in this step I just initialize this value 5. By this step we store the value inside the computer memory. Now I completely store this 5 value inside the computer memory. This is done. It is a single value, so it is easy to store inside a memory. See, it is a only single value through a single variable I stored inside the computer memory. If suppose I want to store more than one value, suppose roll numbers of 60 students, how will store? So I want to store roll numbers of 60 students, 1, 2, 3, etc. up to 60. See, roll numbers of a 60 student. In that case I am going for the concept of array. So what is an array? Array is a collection of homogeneous data items under a common name, single name. So array is a collection of homogeneous data items, means collections of same type under a common name. Roll number of 60 students. Okay, so likewise I will declare roll number of 60 students. I give as array 60, roll number of 60 students, which is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 60. If suppose I want to get a marks of 60 students, for that I will declare one more array for marks. Okay, roll number, first students roll number of 60, 3, etc. up to 60. Okay, next student detail we have a name of a student 20, means Ram, like that I can store. So for each thing we need a single array. For roll number one array, for name one array. If I want to store a marks, I need one more array. So for every detail we need an array. That is also not convenient and not possible at all the time. In real time we are processing many data daily. So in that case, how it is possible to store a value, different values under a common name? Okay, in that case we are going for a structure. It is possible only with the help of a structure. For example, you are making a software for a university. In that case you are going to collect all the details of a student and also for a faculty. So in that case how will store? We have to get a details of a name, particular student's name, detail, marks, address, everything we want to store. And also for a faculty we need to collect all the data. In that case we are going for a structure concept. So what is structure? Structure is a collection of dissimilar data types under a common name. So collection of dissimilar data types under single name. So we can collect different types of data under a common name, right? So for example, I want to store a details of a roll number, name and also marks that should be under a common name. Okay. So structure is a collection of dissimilar data items under a single name. We declare the structure with the keyword struct. Keyword struct. What is the keyword to declare a struct is? Struct. Okay. With the help of this struct keyword, we are declaring the structure concept. And one more thing, structure is a user defined data type. User defined data type. Okay. What is user defined data type? We users can define the data type. Okay. Before that we have to know about data types. Okay. We have three types. Generally we are dividing the data types into three. First thing is three data types. First is fundamental or primitive data type. What is fundamental or primitive data type is, we all know like int, float, char, double. These are fundamental or primitive data types. Generally we are using these four data types. Okay. With the help of this fundamental and primitive data type, we derived some data types like derived or structured data type. Structured data type. What are that means? This arrays, pointers. Okay. With the help of, after this, one more fundamental type is user defined data type. User defined data type. In that we have users means programmers define the data type according to our usage. Example, struct, union, enum. So these are the user defined data type. So structure is a user defined data type. So we want to define a structure. How we can define? By the four steps we are defining the structure. First step, we are define a structure. This is the first step. Second is to declare a structure variable. Okay, through the structure variable only we are defining the structure. Declare the structure variable. Third is, after declaring the structure variable, we are initializing the value to the members. Okay, so third thing is initializing the members of the structure variable. Initializing the members of the structure variable. And last step is accessing. After initialize the value, next last thing we access the value. Accessing the members of the structure. So in this fourth step we done with the structure. Okay, first thing we are defining the structure with the help of a struct keyword. and data members. After define the structure, we just declare the structure variable. With the help of the structure variable, we can access all the members of the structure, right? Third thing is initialize the members. Once we declare a value, we want to give the value, right? Initialize the value. And fourth step, at last step, we are accessing the members of the structure. With the help of the dot operator, we are accessing the members. We are defining a structure with the help of a struct keyword, as we said earlier, like struct, structure name or tag name. We call it as a tag name, structure name or tag name. This is a tag name. Okay, open. We declare a data members, data member 1, data member 1, data member 2, data member 2, data member 3, data member 3 up to data member n we can declare. Okay, and close. After this, we need to give a semicolon. Okay, so first is the keyword struct, and after that we have to give a structure name. Inside the structure name, we have to give a data members of that particular structure. At last, we have to give the semicolon. This is the syntax of defining a structure. For example, I'll take struct. I'll take the structure name as student. Okay, open. In for a student, I'll take as int roll number of 60. Next, char name of 20. Next, float marks or float percent, close, semicolon. Okay, this is just a definition of a structure. So we are defining the structure with the help of a keyword struct. Keyword, this is a structure name, and these are the members. These are the members of structure, and up to this we just define the structure. The memory will not allocate to the members. Okay, once after declaration of a structure variable, the memory will allocate. So after this is the first step, we define the structure. Next step is declaration of structure variable. Okay, how we are declaring the structure variable? After the body of the definition as defined, after that we have to declare the structure variable. Same example I'll take. Struct student. After that, int roll number of 60. Next is I took as a char name of 20. Third thing is float percent. Okay, close. After this definition, now I declare the structure variable. How to declare a structure variable? The syntax for declaring a structure variable is same thing: struct, structure name, and then a variable. Okay, so struct structure name. What the structure name? I took it as a student. I took the structure name as a student. So student. I took the variable as S1. So this is the structure variable. Through this structure variable, I can access all the members, all these 3 members of the structure. Right. So with the help of the structure variable only, we can access the members, access these members of this student structure. Okay, so this is the second step. Now at this step we assigned the memory, means for integer we declare 2 bytes, char 1 byte, float we assigned the particular 4 bytes. Okay, like that we assigned the memory. After this step we are initializing the value. How we are initializing? The third step is initialize. Members of the structure. Okay, initializing the members of the structure. We can initialize, generally we can initialize by two ways: runtime and compile time. Runtime, compile time. Right, runtime also we can initialize the value, and compile time also we can initialize. Runtime, how we can initialize? With the help of a scanf we are initializing. In C we are using scanf to initialize the value at runtime. In compile time we have a syntax like struct, structure name, variable which is equals to value 1, value 2, etc. up to value n. With this syntax we declare we initialize the value at compile time. For example, here struct student 1 S1 which is equals to roll number. I took as a roll number as 20, comma his name as Ram. Why I give the Ram inside this double quotes? Because it is a string value, so with the string we have to declare inside the double quotes. Okay. Next is percent is of float type. Okay, float is 80.4 semicolon. Okay, so it will end with a semicolon. So I initialize the roll number as 20, name as Ram, percentage as 80.4. Up to this we just initialize the value to the variable. After this step we are accessing the value. Generally how we can accessing the members. Okay, last step is access. So in the first step we just defined the value, define the structure. After that we define the structure variable, and next step we initialize the members of the variable, and after that we are accessing. We initialize the value. Now we want to access that particular value, right? How we can access? We can access with the help of a dot operator. What operator? Dot operator. Okay, we can access with the help of a dot operator and structure variable. With the help of the structure variable and dot operator alone we can access the value. For example, we have details of student 1, student 2. Okay, I have a value of a student 1 and student 2. Student 1 I have a roll number, int roll number of 60. Next char name of 20. Next float percent. Okay, name 1, this is a name 1 and roll number 1. Okay, student 1 detail. I have a student of int roll number 2 of 60. Next char name 2 of 30. Last thing is float percent. Okay, this is 2. Now I have a details of student 1 and student 2. Now with the help of a structure variable we will access the value, right? So I declare the variable as S1 for student 1 and S2 for student 2. Okay, with the help of S1 and dot operator we can access, no? So S1 dot, now I want to know the name of a student 1. So S1 dot name 1 will get a name. Okay, and I want to access the value of percentage of student 2. So in that case I'll go for S2 dot percent. S2 dot percent. Now I want to know a roll number of a student 1. In that case I'll go for S1 dot roll number. Like this I'll access the value from the members of a structure. Okay, so this is how we are defining and declaring a structure. In the first step we just define a structure by using the keyword struct followed by a structure name. Inside that we declare a structure members that is associated for the structure. After that we end with a semicolon. For definition of a structure we end with semicolon. Up to this step we just define the structure, not the memory will allocate. Once after declaring the structure variable, the memory will allocate, right? So the next step we are going for the structure variable declaration. So same the example we took as a struct student as a structure name. We have the members of these structures and end with a semicolon. At the end of the definition we are declaring a structure variable. Okay, after once we declare the structure variable, we just initialize the value. Generally we can initialize the value at runtime and compile time also. Okay, so and this is through scanf we get the value, we initialize the value at runtime. With the help of a scanf we can use. At compile time we are declaring like this. Okay, after that these things done. Okay, defining, initializing, declaring, these things done. After that we will access the value. Access the value means how we can access with the help of a dot operator and the structure variable. In structure only with the help of a dot operator and structure variable we can access the value. Okay, after that we'll see one example for structure. Okay, first I declare the structure struct student int id char name. In that student I add the three details as student id, name, person. One more thing in structure, if we will declare the structure anywhere in the program, means outside of the main function, I can declare the structure definition, but the structure variable should be inside the main function. Okay, so in this example also I did that. I define the structure outside of the main function, but I define the structure variable inside the main function. Okay, so we can define the structure outside the main and define the structure variable inside the main function. Okay, I took the details of student id, name and person. In this step, first step I assigned the value of S1 student 1 details. I'll give this initialize the value at compile time. Right, compile time means we'll give like this. So 10 is roll number, means id of a student 1, name and percent. Okay, percent of a student 1. After that student 2 I struct student S2. That student 2 I initialize at runtime. With the help of a printf and scanf I can get the value. First printf enter the details of S2. Whatever we give inside the printf, what we'll get? We'll get the same thing in the output. Okay, output is enter the details. Enter the details. Enter the details of S2. Okay, now I'll give the values of S2. S2, what we'll have? We have to give first ID, next name and person. First ID I'll give as a 10. Now 20. So because For student 1 I gave as a 10, so I'll give as a 20. Name I'll give as, here I gave as a Ram, here I'll give as a Naveen. Okay. Third thing, percent is 80.5. Like that I'll give as a student. So this assign the scanf read the values 20 as percentage D and Naveen as S and F. Why I give as a percentage D, percentage S and percentage F here? These are a format specifiers to specify the values. Percentage D for an integer value, 20 is an integer value, so I give as a percentage D for ID, and second thing is a percentage S, that is for a name, that is a string. So for string I give as percentage S, and for percent is a float type, so I give as a percentage F. Okay. So this 20 to ID, S2 name is Naveen, third percentage is 80.5. Here we have to note that scanf and S2 dot ID and is an address operator. For ID and person we have to give that person address operator. For name we no need to give the address operator. After that we give the details, the scanf read the value, next we give the details of student. Now we are going to print the details of student 1 also. So details of student 1. Details of student 1. Okay, details of student 1. Student ID is percentage D. What is the student ID? 10. Next thing is Ram. Third one is 78.5. This percentage is 78.5. We have the details of student 1 and student 2 now. Okay. After the one more thing we need to know in structure, we have how the memory will allocate. The memory will allocate. For example, I used a data type, 3 data types I used. What are they? Int, char, float. 3 types of data I used in single program. How the memory is, memory will allocate all the sum of these data types. For example, int 2, char 1, float 4. Okay, totally, but here I give as a 2, char name of 20, so 1 into 20 is equal to 20 to 4. Totally 20 plus 4, 24, 25, 26 bytes. Totally 26 bytes will allocate in this structure. Okay, generally for structure definition, we define the structure with the help of a struct keyword, and struct keyword followed by a structure name, data members, and end with semicolon. Once we declare the structure variable, the memory will allocate. So we declare the structure variable after the definition of the structure. Once after the declaration of structure variable, we are going for initialization through compile time or run time, that is our wish. And fourth thing is we are accessing the value. We can access the value with the help of a dot operator and structure variable alone. We can not only we can access the value with the help of a dot operator, all the other functions, manipulation functions, all the mathematical operations we can done with the help of the dot operator in this. Okay, after these things we done, we'll get the output. How the memory will allocate means all the sum of the data types the memory will allocate. Hope you all learned about a structure concept. Thank you for watching this.